What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today, just something that my main man Ryan from RK Outpost was talking about on a live stream. He was just like, this is a Reddit post and it's got some information. And once it starts getting all over the place, people could be making videos. Could be. Or we could just look at it and just say whatever. Supposedly, a Lucasfilm insider. Yeah, an insider says, the world's changed and my position in the roots of this tree, or the tree's changed and I want to leak this. And I don't know. It could be real. Could be my next door neighbor. It could be little Billy who who stayed home sick today from school and decided to have a little fun, or whenever they posted this. Anyway, let's just go through some of them. I'll give you my thoughts and whatever, and then you'd be the judge. Could this be true? Could this not be true? And when you see others making videos saying, I've got a source, and you'll be like, nah, man, the drunk 3PO channel broke it second because Ryan broke it first. All right, there we go. Anyway, this person says, I worked on the sequel trilogy, saying Force Awakens, The Rise of Skywalker. There's an interesting statement here. The world has changed. Very poetic. Let's see. It says in the next weeks or months, there'll be several leaks due to the shakeups at Lucasfilm. Always been shakeups. Always been rumors. Always been leaks. Always been. And then he gets a little more poetic, or she. Who am I? Does it matter? I think so. I think it does matter who you are. Anyway, let's go right in. Regarding Lucasfilm, there has never been there's never been a civil war at Lucasfilm. We kind of talked about that. Never thought there was a civil war. Just people with different ideas and directions saying, I think we should go this way and that way. Just like in any office building. Listen, the people that I work with, they like, we should go here, and people are like, we should go here. Anyway, y'all know that. Yeah, because nevertheless, a disagreement on what direction to take the franchise has always been a recurring problem. I think it will always be a recurring problem. Certain members of the Lucasfilm story group, Pablo, desire to see Star Wars resemble a D&D campaign. Oh, that Pablo never ceases to be stupid. Others, Favreau and Filoni, are pushing for a more traditional approach. I think we could see that in their work. You know, the story group with the High Republic, the Mandalorian, this and that. There isn't some war between Kathy and Favreau. They're on pleasant terms. Well, I mean, of course. Kathy seems to want him to take over once she retires or is promoted. Favreau may not take the position. Yeah, he's more of like a blueprinter, you know, like what we saw with Marvel, planning out the 10 years. Like, that's his thing. Director, like in charge of all of Lucasfilm. Remember, you got comic books, movie. I mean, there's a certain aspect he probably would do excellent. And then there's a certain aspect he'll probably be like, I don't know nothing about that. Filoni isn't interested, nor is he even remotely qualified. I agree. I never asked. I'm like one of the few people, like when this all happens, saying he should never take this over. He's good at his little, whether you like him or not. I'm just saying he's good at his little animation projects. He stay over there. He's much happier working on his own stories. I don't blame him. I don't blame him on that one. Here we go. Regarding the sequel trilogy, does anybody even care? Here's a couple things that were kind of funny. Let's see. Each sequel trilogy director prioritized their scripts differently. You don't say. Johnson was intoxicated with the themes. Yeah, you don't say. Trevorrow had been infatuated with the spectacle. Okay. Abrams favored the concepts. I mean, they're three different people. If you just mapped it out. As to be accepted, this led to very different approaches to the sequel. You don't say. It's nothing new. Rey being the biggest disagreement. You don't say. Abrams initially had hoped to work with George. That didn't work out. When George walked, JJ had all, oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe. George walked. Abrams left. They had to pull him back in to finish that wonderful trilogy we got. It's truly wonderful to see what not to do in a Star Wars trilogy. Anyway, that's my opinion. If you liked it, you liked it. Hey, the backstory and how Rey was left on Jakku changed several times. Yeah, maybe. I mean, these are kind of things that we've all talked about before. Abrams wanted Rey to be the granddaughter of Anakin, eventually pushing her to be Luke's daughter. He had with a fellow rebel after the war. Oh, I see. The war's over. Time to celebrate. Want to see my lightsaber? Okay. Sorry. Let's just stop. Yeah. Anyway. Finn being a Jedi was also something Disney producers thought was too much if John Boyega was cast. Wow. Abrams was forced to water down the subplot. Woo! Rian talked about this. He basically saying that this whole section here probably came from like Red Robot. What is this company's name? Red Robot, the Abrams company, to make Abrams look good. Because right now, Abrams don't look so good. A lot of people didn't like the Star Trek films. A lot of people didn't like the Star Wars films. And now he's going into DC. So they're like, it kind of is like, hey, I tried here. This is what I wanted to do, but they said no. But for some reason, I find that hard to believe. And here's why. Because Rian Johnson talks about it all the time. They basically said, here's your movie. Do what you want. Right? And he did what he wanted. Thanks. So why wouldn't JJ have the same thing? Especially after JJ left. And then they said, no, come back and finish. He could have easily said, if I'm coming back, I'm doing what I want. They could have said, do what you want. But now they're saying, no, that Horn, they're making Horn look terrible here, was most vocal against a romance between Finn and Rey. Risk. Interracial relationships a risk. What year are you living in? If this is true, I'm saying this could be just a big... Somebody could have just sat down and was bored being on lockdown. That's all I'm saying. Yes. Lucasfilm asked Abrams to set up a romance between Poe and Rey. Abrams refused. Oh, so they just want to bounce Rey around. There you go. You know. Rian was far more helpful with Lucasfilm, working with them instead of against them. Oh, man, I find that very hard to believe. I feel like they just said, here you go. Because it looked like Rian started making his movie before the first one was even done. So, this looks probably true. Rian was less concerned with the beginning or ending rather than what he could do with his chapter. Lucasfilm gave him creative control just as long as he took their notes. It's just weird. That's kind of weird. Rian's film had gone under reshoots, some changes, Crate being moved to the ending. Okay. Less romantic undertones between Rey and Kylo. Less romantic undertones? That was the whole kissy hand thing. I don't know about that. Here's some other ones here about episode 9. Abrams and Terrio had ended up with a hybrid of The Rise of Skywalker and Duel of the Fates. Remember, Duel of the Fates was the original ending, which had Kylo Ren going and receiving some super Sith power, Luke still being a major part of the film, training Rey And if he had stayed alive from The Last Jedi, dies fighting Kylo Ren, with then Rey, wins. It also has a cool part of Rose Tico and Finn in the underbellies of Coruscant fighting. That script was available for people that's out there, people to read, at least parts of it. So Rose had a key role in saving the day by altering communications the jammer of the First Order used to keep the galaxy dark. Yeah. Rey had learned she was Vader's granddaughter and reconciled her past with Luke. Finn has staged a stormtrooper rebellion after finding a long lost sibling. Yeah, that was in like Duel of Fates. Man, you find it hard to believe like all that was shot and then taken out, right? Are y'all with me? If you're still watching this at this point, crazy. Kylo would have sought to reform the galaxy, but found peace in the end and passed on. Poe was made leader of the Resistance, while Hux would have been made Grand Marshal of the First Order as Kylo Ren's right-hand man. Disney and Lucasfilm disagreed with Abrams' finale. Felt that it needed a villain with bigger audience presence than Kylo or Hux. Expressing regret that Snoke had been killed off, but not wanting to bring him back. Man, maybe we shouldn't have killed the big villain like that. Maybe. We didn't know anything about him. Nothing. How do we fix that? Let's just say he was a clone. That's it. Actually, that sounds like something that comes out of Disney Star Wars. Yeah. Abrams had faith that Adam Driver. Yeah, I see. Let's see. More than enough. Both men would turn the grand performance. Yeah, actually, Adam Driver's performance, I thought was great. I thought he was great. I thought he acted the way they wanted him to portray Kylo Ren. Not saying the character was all that great. I'm just saying I thought he, as an actor, was great in the films, especially The Rise of Skywalker. I thought he did the best job that he was able to do. They pushed Palpatine onto Kathy, who was forced to push him onto Abrams. Who's they? Disney did not want to hear that. They push. How do you push someone onto Kathy? How is that possible? Who is they? And what are they pushing? Who is it? The board of directors? We want Palpatine. That's what we want. What? This sounds stupid. Abrams played ball with Palpatine, yet every week on production there were new notes from Disney or Lucasfilm. I find that extremely hard to believe that they have that much control over J.J. Abrams. Extremely hard to believe. And this is the kicker here. Eventually, Abrams shot 2 movies. His vision and Disney Lucasfilm vision. See, this one I find hard to believe too, because all you kept hearing was there's not enough time. They had to bring in a director quickly, get it done, boom, boom, boom. And if you watch the movie, it's just like, it's like a super convenience where it's like, I found this, let's go, here, there, boom, we're done, it's over. That's it. More ships, more lightning, more Sith Lords standing in the corner. I mean, like, that's all I'm saying. To be able to shoot 2 films and not one actor, unless I missed it, has come out and said, oh man, there was other scenes that were great that they should have put in the film. Not one? Says I feel for Kelly Marie Tran and Naomi. Yeah, the women of color in the industry getting their scenes cut wasn't something Abrams or Kathy wanted. Then who's in charge here? I don't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever. Is there a JJ or Abrams cut? The answer is yes and no. Here we go. Are the hashtags going to start? Release the Abrams cut. The runtime would be 4 hours. Palpatine's role would have been changed. Kylo and Rey's relationship would have been more tragic. Rey wanted to put him out of his misery, and Kylo wanted to be free. There was a scene of Kylo saying goodbye to Leia, giving closure to mother and son. Much of Rose's subplot was dedicated to figuring out how to outsmart the First Order. Coruscant was the key. I read that in the Duel of Fates. Luke and Kylo would have had a proper duel on Mortis. The scene would have based off their confrontation of. I read that on Duel of Fates too, that was an issue. There were hints to Poe's romantic interest in Finn, yet in the end, he gives his blessing to Finn and Rey. Poe's romantic interest in Finn? Didn't they say Poe and Rey? All right. Whatever. Sith troopers are actually clone mixes of Phasma's DNA. What? Finn led an assault to the beacon. This was in Duel of Fates with Rose and Janna. Yeah. He would be wielding a green lightsaber. Unknown if it was Luke's lightsaber. Ooh. I saw that in Duel of Fates. Knights of Ren would be killed. Yeah. Why? Why even have... Like, see, that's the other thing. It's like, why tease them and then they did nothing? Kylo accepts his defeat and in return to the light as he dies. Okay. Ben would have appeared as a Force ghost with his mother and made amends to Rey silently. Anakin's Force ghost would have appeared with the younger Force ghost of Luke and Leia to say goodbye forever. The Resistance gang would have celebrated on Tatooine at the Lars homestead. Lars home. You want to? That's where you throw a party, baby. Let's go to Lars homestead on Tatooine. Finn and Rey were watching the sunrise hand in hand. Oh, with all the other characters. Is the Abrams cuts better? It's more coherent story than theatrical release. I don't know. I don't think it exists. Personally, I favored Colin's ending. So did I. Actually, the whatever. Like, I think Colin's ending. If they didn't kill Luke in The Last Jedi, to add to Colin's ending, because Mark Hamill talked about that in Colin's ending, Luke was still alive, and then dies because Kylo Ren, I don't know, he like goes out and seeks some Sith power and makes him more powerful, and he's able to defeat Luke. Kind of like, and it almost is in like an Obi-Wan way when Darth Vader in A New Hope. So, you know, they should have given Colin the trilogy. I agree. There should have been one person to kind of map it out with a bunch of people helping. There may be more leaks coming. Maybe from me, maybe not. Interesting. Huh. I want to get this out for the sake of the truth. A lot of this stuff we kind of talked about before. So, but a lot of this stuff is just weird, like Kathleen Kennedy not having any power or charge. Like, she has to answer to, who's she answering to? Bob Iger? Or Bob Chapstick? I don't know. I just highlighted some of the other ones. If you want to read the whole thing, the link is in the description. So read for yourself. Have fun. Thanks for hanging out with me if you stay with me this long. And maybe I'll talk about this with Theory and Jeremy on a live stream. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time.